Hey guys, Mike here, MF Custom Garage. So we're just on the side of Barney here, and anyway, right in this area right here, we got a little bit of a sag. It's not a huge run or anything, it's just kind of a sag, but it comes down like this. So I'm gonna take this out, and there's a ton of guys on the internet that have videos on how to do this. One of the best ones I ever watched was a place called RM Refinishes. They do an excellent video on how to take out runs and stuff. But I'm going to quickly go over this, show you guys some pictures of it as we go along, and I'll take this sag run out of here. I don't know how good my camera angle is, but I'll show you guys, and we'll kind of go from there. I work it so I start out with about 1,000 grit paper, and I get down to about 3,000 Trizac, and then we buff it, and hopefully it'll all be gone. So we'll kind of go through that process a little bit, guys, and we'll go from there. So yeah, here we go with it.
So yeah, the sag is right in here. You can see a little distortion. Depending on my camera angle, it kind of comes down into here a little bit. So anyway, we'll go over the procedure, and I think as I work on it a little bit, you'll get to see it a little better. Yeah, it's kind of tough to see, but I think if we look down the truck here, we might be able to see it a little better. But anyway, we'll get you some better pictures of it. So, alright guys, so you're just going to walk along here, and it's going to show you essentially after our 3,000 grit, you know, where we've got it, and how I've kind of come all the way down this stripe a little, just knock the harshness off of it. And yeah, so now we're going to buff this all back. And I'm going to tell you guys, when it comes to this, like I said, if you go to that RM refinishing videos on YouTube, they're incredible how good they get into depth, and how they tell you how you can take out some major runs using filler and stuff like that. And it does all work. But they're also going to tell you there's about 50 ways, it seems like, when you talk to guys who are really good at this, to skin a cat too. I know hanging around SEMA one year, I was talking to a lot of guys that did a lot of buffing and products, and there's just a ton of stuff out there, guys, and not all of it is the same. And I was going to quickly go over some pads here before we started, but yeah, anyway, we're there, and we're going to buff this out and see how it all comes. So I'm just going to show you guys some buffing pads, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so this is a synthetic buffing pad, and it's synthetic microfiber, sorry, and it has grooves in it, and this is an aggressive cutting pad, like super aggressive. This one here is a synthetic wool pad, and it's basically, you can have wool that's non-synthetic or whatever. I probably have 50 different pads. But yeah, this is old school wool. This cuts fairly aggressive too. Then yellow, normally as a rule in foam, is the most aggressive foam pad, and you can tell it's really hard. It's really, really aggressive, and it will cut. This cuts really well too. Then next is the white. It gets softer, less aggressive. And last would be the blue, or sometimes even a black. And the blacks I found are even softer and less aggressive yet. So that's kind of just a look at a set of buffing pads from coarse to not coarse. And like I said, guys, there's 50 different manufacturers and 50 different systems. I tend to like to use 3M Polish and some different buffing pads, but that's just my preference. A lot of guys like to use 3M for everything. So anyway, we're going to start buffing this thing, and then we'll go from there. So we'll show you some of the results as we buff it.
Okay, guys, we've just gone over this with compound number 1 and a synthetic wool pad, and this is the first cut, and this is the result that we got, and it's really good. The next step will be we'll get the compound number 2 3M, and like I said, lately I've been using all 3M compounds, and then we'll probably hit this with a blue foam pad and go from there. And I'll show you some more here as we go. And so far everything's looking good, but we were able to get that run completely sanded out of there and cut. And like I said, we left it at 3,000 Trizac when we started this.
Okay guys, Mike here, MF Custom Garage. So I'm going to quickly go over all the stuff that we use to do this. And even though I showed you in the video, but we're just going to go over all the stuff I used to get to this point. And as you can tell, try to get all the best angles I can on it, but it is completely out, and it's been sitting a few days. It's probably been sitting actually almost a week with everything we've had going on, election and all that kind of stuff here in Canada. So anyway, it looks excellent, and we got at this point we still got a little tiny bit to do on the other side, but we'll get that taken care of right away. But I mean, yeah, it is absolutely awesome, and totally am happy with the way it went. So I'm just going to go over a few of the products that I used to get to here, and I already talked about some of them. So these are the buffing pads I like to use. I went over what they all do already, coarseness and all that. I just buy these from my local body shop supply place. Here in Canada, I've also seen other places that have these pads now, and even the price being not so reasonable, or being fairly reasonable. So yeah, I use, if I DA out anything in 1500, I do use my Mac finish sander. Now this, I did not use the DA, I did it all by hand. Guide coat, you can use it because you got to make sure you get your scratches. This is an original pad cleaner that I've had for years, and I do use it, and I also use air. I really like Presta Spray and Shine, and I use it to take off the residue and whatnot. And then in the other one here, we just got regular Proform wax and grease remover, which I use in between sanding and stuff like that to make sure that's 100% clean. As far as sandpapers go, the 1500, I always tend to like to run these films. Now you can run these on a DA, or I sometimes run these like just by hand on a foam or fairly solid block. Blocks, I mean, there's all kinds of differences in blocks, guys, and what you want to use and what you can and cannot use. You know, the harder the block, the more you're going to cut your imperfection out. Softer the block, the more you're going to, you know, roll around it, is the way I'm going to put it. 2000 grit, 3M paper. Again, 3M I do think makes some of the best, even though in 1000 and stuff like that, I do use Norton. And I do use Norton paper for a lot of other stuff. Trizac, it only comes in 3M. These things are super expensive, guys, but they're hard to beat. And these go also to 5,000, and I think they go up now even from there. I've always got away with buffing out at 3,000. When I was wiping cars a few years back, I did use 5,000 a bit, but it all depends on your preference and what you like and how you like the buff, I guess. So, this is the microfiber that I used on this. This is a Costco microfiber, guys, and these are a pretty good deal. You can buy them for $20. I always rip the tag off because, like I said, the tag can do more damage than a piece of sandpaper. So
ripped the tag off, and this is what we use. And here in Canada, I'm thoroughly impressed with the price of these microfibers and everything else. I can't get them cheaper through even suppliers. So walk down the side here. So when I was doing this, this is my old Makita buffer, which I've had for a bunch of years. It has a speed control on it, everything. These aren't cheap, but once you buy one, it almost lasts you a lifetime. Like I said, we had a wool pad on there, synthetic wool pad, and then I also have this Milwaukee 12 volt buffer refinisher, whatever they want to call it. This thing works excellent. This was actually when I was dealing with Sickens. They built a kit for this with 3M pads, and yeah, this is what I used to basically finish 90% of this truck just by hand because they were pretty small areas. This just takes 3M little pads. There are a bunch of other manufacturers out there, and you can get wool ones too, but this I found is an excellent tool, especially when I was fixing used cars and detailing used cars and stuff. As for polishes, 3M number one with the white 36060. I've had excellent luck with this over the years, probably the best of the stuff I've used. And this is the 2 06094, and then there's a finishing glaze, which is a 3. It's almost a wax in my mind too, but it's excellent. But really, for the most part, fresh paint, if you're good at what you do, you'll probably only need 1 and 2, and then you can finish it however you want. Some guys prefer even wax, whatever they want to do. But anyway, in a nutshell, guys, that's what we all use, and we've had good luck with it. A couple other honorable mentions, I guess, as far as buffing compounds go. Fracca, I used to use a lot of Fracca, and Presta. They're both excellent buffing compounds. Fracca is almost like a dry version in my mind of 3M, and that's what I don't kind of like about it. There's nothing wrong with it. You can use it. I've used it. And like I said, Fracca, in my opinion, is more like a dry version of 3M. And Presta is more like a wet version of 3M, but not as wet as like Meguiar's would be. And as far as Meguiar's goes, well, I've used Meguiar's years and years ago because it seemed like it was sort of the go-to main thing, and I'm not a fan. It's really messy. It goes everywhere. So anyway, that's going to do it for this video, guys. I'm going to wrap this up. So thanks for watching this. I hope you got a little bit of information out of it. And like I said, there are some guys out there with better videos than what I got. RM Refinish is probably one of the best ones, and I will post a link at the end of the video on a side screen there to one of their videos that I found very impressive. Mic out for now. I just put a URL clip up for you guys. Like, share, subscribe, do the thing. I appreciate every one of you, and we will catch you in the next video. So glad and honored to be able to do this. So thank you so much. Catch you on the next one.